Mike Inman, as readers of CPO Agenda will already know him as the negotiator. He's got the negotiator column. I saw Mike speak at a conference in America last year, and I thought he was absolutely excellent, one of the best speakers I've ever seen at a procurement conference, so I invited him over to speak today. He's an expert at negotiation, and as I say, this will be a very interactive section. Currently he's an advisor to a company called Tableforce, but previously he was head of global procurement at MGM in Las Vegas. So it brings a bit of glitz to proceedings as well. Mike, I'd like to welcome you onto the stage. Thank you very much.
What's up, London? Look, a rock star up here. This is fun stuff. So, as Steve mentioned, the bar is set very high. I'm really not that good. My daughter has a cold, and she gave it to me before I came over, and I speak American English, which isn't proper, so I'm at a disadvantage here. So I have very low expectations for this, please. We're going to do this a little bit differently. I applaud the speakers who came before me for not using PowerPoint. I'm going to use it as part of the teaching technique and to kind of force an interaction that I want to happen. So to start this, we're going to have some blanks. I want you thinking, what could possibly go in that blank? I'm going to ask you for your input. Okay, so here's a statement that I hope is provocative. All too often, buyers trap. Yeah, they trap themselves into. Bad is a good word there. What else? Pardon me? Complex. Sure.
Adversarial.
Adversarial. These are all really good. Here's what I want us to talk about. Price-focused negotiations. Now, price is an interesting word. I mentioned that I speak American English. Right, so I want to make sure we define some of these terms. I'm going to do the price, a very strict, very specific definition later. They actually end up being a what? When you get trapped into a price-focused negotiation, what could go there? Barrier? What else? Constraint? How about this for provocative? Fool's errand. Now, where's Bill? Did he take off already? Okay. I need to apologize, because when I define it later, you'll understand. If you're only focused on price over many negotiations, it becomes a fool's errand, because after you've done the first haircut, can you go back for a second haircut the next year? Does that work? Maybe look, is there a diminishing return, right? After we go with the haircut this year and the next year and the next year, there's only so much that we can do. So total cost negotiations that produce a healthy, short and long-term win-win, both what? Who needs to have a healthy, short and long-term win-win negotiation? I'm going to say internally. Your internal clients, the people that you work with currently, and some of the new folks, hopefully you're breaking into as procurement grows in your organizations. Okay? And with the supply chain. Believe it or not, the supply chain needs this healthy win-win. They need to make a profit to stay in business, to provide excellent services, short-term and long-term. Okay, so hopefully this is a little provocative, and by all means, continue to shout things out. I'm not here to speak to you. I'm here to work with you. Oops, my apologies. So not necessarily more difficult. The concepts we're going to talk about are not rocket science. I'm an aerospace engineer. We're not going to talk about that stuff. They're just more thoughtful. I'm going to talk about a concept later called being intentional. Do you think about what you do? Do you have a plan? Do you follow it? Be intentional. Be thoughtful when you're approaching internal clients and supply chain for your negotiation. So as Steve mentioned, I'm Mike Inman. I'm not going to talk a lot about myself. I was with MGM Resorts, which owns 10 strip properties, Bellagio, Mandalay Bay, and Las Vegas. Before that, I was with IAC Interactive Corp, an internet holding company. Prior to that, I was with General Motors. So lots of different industries in my background. Hopefully I can translate into all the different industries that are represented here. All right? So before anything else, please, I want you to turn off the voice inside your head. It's the one that said, what voice?